Hi, welcome to ADI Technical Training. I'm Matthew. In this video, we are looking at the Hikvision IP video intercom. As it's an IP intercom, the configuration for the devices is done on software, which you can download from the manufacturer's website. The first bit of software is a network discovery tool called SADP, and the second is a management software, which is IVMS 4200. Just go to hikvision.com/UK and download the software. Go to the search bar at the top, type in SADP, Sierra Alpha Delta Papa, and search for the software. And for IVMS, again, IVMS 4200, and install it it's for a Mac or a PC. Install the correct software. All these devices are PoE, so as you can see on my diagram here, I have both the door station and the handset connected to an Ultratech PoE switch. If you're putting this on your client's network and they don't have PoE, you can connect to a normal network without PoE, but the devices can be powered on 12 volts DC. You need about 2 amps for each device. The door stations do give 2 relay outputs. As standard it's 1, but there are 2 relays on there. They can both release from buttons on the handset. If you're switching maybe gate controls or door automation, the door station does give a dry contact relay. If you're doing lock releases or mag locks, you're going to need a separate power supply, maybe 1 amp or 2 amps, so overall maybe a 3 amp power supply if you're doing a magnet, for instance, and switch that through the relay on board. The door station also has exit button inputs, so everything can be managed at the door station. It's all one unit. Once you've installed the software, you need to set up passwords and usernames within the software. And once you've done all that, you can launch the software and we are ready to start to configure the software. Before you start with the software, we need to have a quick look at the hardware. On the back of each sub-module, you'll find a rubber cover, and under there is a set of dip switches. There's 8 dip switches. Each dip switch represents the address of the sub-module. So in this case, where it's a camera and then one sub-module, my first module will be address 1. If you're putting up to 8 modules in there, then you need to address them accordingly. It's very important that you set the addresses up. If you don't address the devices, they won't work. Okay, with the hardware done, we can nip over to the software. So you can see here I have SADP installed and IVMS. You can see I found my 2 devices, both are inactive. And you can see here they've got the factory IP addresses. We need to change them though. We need to go to CMD and your Windows search, type in CMD, and in there type in IP config. And from there you'll find your local IPv4 address, your subnet address, and your gateway address. You need these addresses to be the same as the laptop address. So the address for the software, the IVMS, has to be the same as the devices you're working on. So you can see here the local network address is 192.168.1, and then the last 3 digits are the unique address of each device. So 117 in this case is for my laptop. So we need to go into SADP and change the IP addresses from 00 to 168.1 and then a unique address for each device. Take a note of the subnet addresses and the gateway addresses. Okay, so let's go to the door station first of all, tick the box, and then in the new password window we need to create a new password and confirm, click modify, and then we are in the device to change settings. So you can see here my IP address as standard for this device is 192.192.0.0.65. We need to change this to 192.168 and then a unique address for the device, so 192.168.1, and then maybe for the door station I'll choose 33. Subnet mask is okay. Gateway, remember we need to change the gateway to suit the site, so 192.168.1.254. Nothing else needs changing, we just need to type in the admin password and then click modify. This is the password that you've just set up, so confirming the password basically. Click modify, and there we go, the modifications are complete. And if we have a look in the main window, you can see here that the door station is now active and it has the correct IP address. So I'm going to do the same again, but this time for the handset. Confirm, create a new password, confirm it, copy this serial number, you'll need it later, take a copy of it now, and then change all the settings. As you can see, I've already changed the settings in advance, and I've clicked modify. So in SADP, we've got two devices. I've changed the IP addresses of both, and we've finished in SADP. We can close this window and then go to IVMS. Once you launch IVMS, you come to this window here. In the top right where it says Device Management, we can click on that, and that will take us to the Device Management window. At the top, Online Devices, and we will find both of our devices. So we'll find the door station, 8003, and we can find the monitor handset. What we need to do now is add these, so highlight that one at the top, click Add, give this a name. This is the door station, we'll call it door. Confirm its IP address, 192.168.1.33. Username, you didn't know this, would be admin, and password, this is the password you just set up in SADP. Once you've done that, synchronize the time and then click Add. You can see this is online, so that's that device added, and we will now do the same again, but this time for the monitor. So there's the monitor added. Same process, but it's online. Both of them are now added. So next, we then need to go to the window for the door station and modify it. Now, in old hardware, if you click the configuration tool, it opens it up locally. In the latest version of the door stations, you need to go to the local device and browse into it on the web browser. Both take you to this window here. You just need to type in the IP address of the door station. So the IP address of my door station, 192.168.1.33, if I go to my browser and type that in, it will open the window, the configuration window. On older software, on older hardware like I have here, if you go to the configuration window, remote configuration cog, it takes you to this window. From this point on, they're both the same though. So we'll go to device management, we're going to add an indoor station, the monitor. We're going to create a password for it. Sorry, not create a password, we're going to use the password we created in SADP. Confirm that password. If you remember, we took a screen, we copied the serial number, paste it in. If you forgot it, you can go back to IVMS, and here you will see the serial number here. Type in the IP address of the handset, 192.168.1.32. Confirm the subnet address. Confirm the gateway. And then floor 1, room 1. So we've got all the IP information configured. All we do is floor 1, room 1, and that, if for larger systems, you can change that later on. So you can see the indoor station is now added to the door station. And now what we need to do is go to the handset, again, remote configuration, network, group network settings, registration password. This is the password you just created in SADP. Next would be the main door station IP. This is the door station IP address. We're going to change that to suit the IP of our site, which is 192.168.1.33. Once you've done all that, click Save, and at the bottom there you'll see that's saved. We can come out of that. And there we are. The device is now set up, so if I press the call button outside, it will ring the handset on the inside. Next, we need to enroll some fobs into the system. I'll be enrolling fobs in two ways. I'll enroll them in using the Hikvision desktop reader, and I'll also enroll them in using the reader on board. There's two separate ways of doing it. If it's for commercial application, you're adding lots of fobs on a daily basis or weekly basis, it's best to use the enrollment reader. And if it's just one door, maybe domestic application, you can just do it through the reader on board the intercom. How to add tokens to the reader, to the MyFair reader or proximity reader. The important thing to do is make sure you give these a descriptive name. In our example, it's only one door calling several handsets, but if you have a larger site, it becomes a bit more important to know which is the panel that you're going to be using to enroll tokens in if you're doing it that way. So maybe call it front door or gate or side door, just so you know where that is. I've called it MyFair intercom because I have several intercoms here, but this is the intercom with the built-in MyFair reader. So let's go and add a person first of all. So squares at the top, go to person. The organization, you can change it. It says new organization. I've previously changed it to ADI. Just click on edit and give it the name that suits, ADI for my case. Let's add a token. Token 1, person 1. The name, we'll call them fob. This information is not that important unless it's unless personnel want it. It's male or female, email or telephone number, makes no difference really. And then if we scroll down, we come to the credentials, the card or fob. How are we going to read this person into the system? If you click on settings, you can see there's two ways of doing it. There's card reader, that's where you use the local intercom panel, or there's desktop reader. In the first example, I'll use the desktop reader. So you can see that's the correct reader. Click OK. And now we need to get our fob. I'll be using the fob. Click read. The reader's ready. Present the token. Populates with the card number, the token number. Add that to the file, and then if we scroll to the bottom here, resident information, let's click on that. The bind device is an analog door station, and this is where it becomes important that you gave it a name. MyFair intercom, as I say, if you have 5 or 6 doors on site and only one has the MyFair reader on it, makes it easier to find, or if it's the reader that's closest to the door that you're working, it makes it easier to find. So anyway, MyFair intercom, room 1, floor 1, room 1, and add them to the database. Let's add another. This time I'll use the yellow fob, and I'll just scroll down here to credential and add a card, but this time I'm going to add them through the reader itself, through the card reader, and the device I'll be using is the MyFair intercom. OK to that, and now if I click read and present a fob to it, get a reassurance tone from the intercom, and there's a card number that's added now. So let's add them to the system as well, to the database. Scroll down, bind device, analog door station again, MyFair intercom, floor 1, room 1, add. And now we have 2 cards added to the system. So you'd think that would mean the reader works. Well, not quite. If you look at the bottom here, for example, if I present a token to the reader, you can see there it's an invalid card. It's not recognized by the system. What we have to do is go and create a time zone or an access level to let people through. So let's click here, access control. Now first things here is holidays. Do we need to create a holiday? Well, not in my example, no. But if you did, this is where you create a time zone. And this would be the template you would use. What we need to do is go to authorization and access group. And what an access group is it allows people through certain doors at a certain time. So let's add a person. I'm going to call it door because we've only got the one door. And this is what I was saying about time templates. When are these people allowed through? Well, if you remember, we have an all-day access. That's what this one is. So that lets you through Monday through to Sunday, 24 hours. If we had another group, maybe, you know, maybe Monday to Friday, you would call that daytime, weekdays. And if it's only the weekend, maybe weekend. But I've only got the two, which is authorized. Next is users. If you remember, the organization was ADI, and it's all the users in there. We need to enable them. They're all enabled. Which door are they allowed through? The MyFair door, the MyFair intercom. And now we just save that. So still, we now have cards added to the system. We have access zones added to the system. All we have to do now is select the door and send that information through to the device. So let's apply that. And that's going to apply the rules, and in the result there you can see it's all applied. So now if I get one of my tokens, yellow I think it was, and present to the reader, and if you hear in the background there, that's a valid read. Again, if you look at the bottom, when I present a token, you get the confirmation message within IVMS. And there you go, the short way on adding tokens to the Hikvision Generation 2 MyFair reader. Thanks very much for watching. All the products mentioned in this training video can be found on our website. Links are below. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much.